I developed a model that is split into four levels, which is actually a breakdown of the sentence that I thought about, which is I want to be happy. Each word in this sentence means something that you have to do in order to be happy. So I'll share the way I think about it kind of visually. You want to be happy. I want to be happy. Those are the four levels I'm going to talk about. So the base is really the I. What does that mean? It means that before you go on any journey to be happy and to achieve happiness and fulfillment and self-esteem, you need to start with knowing who the I is. Who are you? Who am I? What do I what am I about? So knowing the I means knowing who you are, knowing your nature, and you know that through the things that you find meaning in. Knowing yourself is basically knowing what you respond to. The things that you respond to are actually mirrors from different angles. I think about them as like slivers of like mirrors that are reflecting your soul because you cannot see your soul. You can only experience it through the things that you find meaning in. So self-knowledge requires a deep sense of identity, and it's done through a lot of introspection. So that is the basis for all of this. This is the first level of the pyramid of I want to be happy. So first is the I. The second level is the want. Those are the things you want. Those are your desires. Those are your visions, your aspirations, the vehicles of self-fulfillment and expression. Knowing how to want, to really, really want something. And seeing values in the things you want is critically important. So knowing how to want is the second level of after knowing who the I is. The I is knowing what to want and what are those things that are going to make you happy because you are very unique in the things that are going to make you happy. The second one is the motivation to want, to even desire something. And that is done through a lot of envisioning and the process of integrating, like if I love this and I love that in that realm, what can I do in order to fulfill myself? And then creating this imaginary capability of knowing how to want it and how to go about developing a vision that you fall in love with. That gives you the motivation to embark on a journey. So that's the second level. The third level is to be, to achieve, to get it. So this requires the kind of character that allows you to not only dream about things, but go out and get it to achieve your goals. It requires risk taking, it requires the fortitude to fail and then come back and try it again. And a lot of people are, you know, content with, good enough, not dream too much because I don't know that I'm can actually get it. So it has to do with the self-esteem that one associate with themselves and like, can I do this? Am I the kind of person who achieves those kind of things? There's a lot to be said about that. But the ability to be, to achieve, to go after is the third level. And the fourth level is happy, is knowing how to derive happiness from the achievements, from the going after the things you want. A lot of people that I work with are at that level. They achieve amazing things, but they don't know how to derive that happiness. And it requires a healthy psychology and a self-image and self-esteem that allows you to get this genuine, true self-esteem from those value pursuits. So all of those are required to be happy. And let me talk about the negatives, how people get it wrong. It starts with the first level of no I. Those are people who never find out who they are because either people told you it's not important, you are not important. What you want and your happiness is not the goal here. The goal is to serve something, someone, or something greater than yourself. And that philosophy never allows them to even be interested in the I. But also, people with good philosophy never find the I because they don't know how to introspect. They don't know how to gain that self-knowledge that says, who am I? What defines me? What's going to make me happy? me, as the unique person that I am, as the universe that I am. And yeah, that's very sad to see people that have no I. They just float around by osmosis. They get other people's, um, goals and aspirations, and they check mark all of the things that the culture told them to want, and they never find themselves. They're indistinguishable, unfortunately, from anyone else you've ever met. They're not interesting people, and because there's no identity in there. The second one is even if you know who you are, people that have they don't have what I call the wanter muscle. They don't know how to desire, to have a vision, to want, to aspire to achieve something. And they cannot harness a motivation to go out and achieve things. They never see that as something that is worth the effort. So they go for safety, conformity, predictability, and compromising for a good enough life. A lot of them are second-handed because they don't know how to want, so they want what other people want. And that is a big mistake. Not knowing how to want, not having that desire to go after something that is so inspiring that allows you to be the hero that you can be. Every time you imagine something, that's almost a declaration of expectation. So a lot of people don't want to want because they're afraid to, to fail, or they're afraid that it'll wear them out, right? So I want this and I want that, and another thing that people are mistaken is like this idea of like, oh, I want things and then I get them and they mean nothing. It's not true. You're just not going after the right things. Because I can tell you something from last week. I really wanted a new sports car, and I've investigated and I've test driven so many cars to get the one I wanted. Now I have it. It's amazing. I cannot tell you how excited I am that in the garage there's this beast waiting for me to drive it. So if you want the right things, it adds up. And so people inflict themselves with bad philosophy like, oh, who even wants to want, right? You want to want because the essence of life is the achievement of the things you want. So want big, achieve big. It's okay if you don't get it, if you fail, pick yourself up. That's the heroic journey. That's the essence. If any movie you've ever seen, every story you've ever read is because someone wanted something bad and it was critically important to them. Otherwise, there's no fuel. So that level is really the fuel of your journey. And if you don't have that fuel, you'll never get anywhere. So yeah, Stoicism has a lot to do with that rationalization of why it's good not to even want. The third level is to be the achievement of not being, not wanting to achieve, not going for it. The people who don't really have the character of a doer, someone that is serious about what they want so much that they go out and they do it. They take the risks. They do what needs to be done. They focus. They have the fortitude, the emotional resilience to go after what they want. They won't compromise. They won't settle for anything other than what they want. So they're willing to do the work and pay the prices sometimes of trying to get what they want. Sometimes lack of self-esteem and determination is what's lacking there, because the people who really know how to want know how to get it as well. So they will try over and over again, even, as they say, they'll die trying to get what they want. So it's the character that you need to build in order to go after the things you envision. So it's not just envisioning things and wanting things, but also doing what needs to be done. It even goes to the point of planning what needs to be done, and not overwhelming yourself, like breaking it down to steps, taking one step at a time in the mountain that you're climbing, and then understanding the nature of the climb, the nature of the journey, and planning and preparing yourself and course correcting when you need. All of that is in that third realm of being, achieving, going after. The fourth level is the most unfortunate one, and it breaks my heart when I meet people like that are doing everything right. They know who they are, they know what they want, they go out and they get it, and they never cash in on the rewards of what they've done. It is a psychological issue, either philosophical or psychological. Sometimes they won't allow themselves to be happy because they don't think that what they're doing is good. they're not serving enough, they're not giving back, all of those things. So it's either bad philosophy, but sometimes it's bad psychology. I'm not worthy of happiness. It's true that I achieve all those things, but it's a given, everybody wants those things, everybody achieves those things, right? I'm not that special. So they don't have the healthy psychology that says, no, I am good. Look at what I've done. Look at how much I've progressed. Look at how much I've achieved. I am worthy of a tap on the back to say, good for you, good for me. I'm a good person. I am developing the soul of someone that knows who he is, knows what he wants, goes after it, and achieves it. And that is the whole thing. So stopping and reflecting and appreciating what it is that you achieved is part of this whole process. So I thought it's really cool to break down this sentence, I want to be happy, to those four levels, and showing how the positive and the negative, if you will, what to do and what to avoid in each one of those levels of being happy. And another thing is you're pursuing values in many different domains. You're pursuing career values and hobbies and relationships and wealth and so many different things. So your life is in many cycles of value pursuits, and you need to know how to do that. But it stems from the core of who I am. What kind of life do I want from me? Because I have a specific nature, I have a specific consciousness. I am attracted to specific things. So what is important to me? What is the kind of work I want to do? What are the relationships I want to have? Who's going to be my romantic partner? What are the hobbies, the relaxation, the rejuvenation, recreation activities that I want for myself? And how do I make sure that all of those things generate the wealth I need in order to trade with other people to buy the things that I don't know how to make? Right? Food and shelter and other things and clothes. From there, you need to be a good wanter, a good doer, and a good cashing in, a good kind of to derive the value out of it. So someone who knows how to cash in on this process. So this cycle of more self-knowledge, more imagining what you can be and how you can express yourself, because life is very short. You don't have a lot of time to do this thing. So having a sense of urgency of like, it's important to know myself. It's important to know what I want. It's important to sit down in a quiet room and imagine who I can be and what are those things I want to do that will help me express myself and develop myself as a hero, nothing less than a hero. Yeah, so you need to work on all of those things, not to mention all of the, again, the fortitude, the seriousness it takes, the focus on breaking down your vision into milestones, of achievable milestones, where you can say, how can I go out and actually get this or a version of this? Who are the people who know what I need to know? Where can I learn? Where can I try those things? Where are the resources I need? What is the environment in which I can thrive? And so on and so forth. What are the risks I need to take? What is the investments I need to make? And then lastly, again, being happy. I see a lot of people, very successful people who like, look at what you've done, and you're giving yourself no credit. So they do all of that, and then they go see a psychologist to claim that they're not happy. It's this idea of this is the pyramid you've built. Now you're at the top. Look down. Look at the view. Look at the life you've built. Now, if you're at the top of a mountain and it's not your mountain, it's, you've made a lot of money. And I know a lot of people that made a lot of money and they're very successful in the eyes of the culture, but they're not really happy because they're not at the top of the pyramid they need to be. So it starts with them not having the right foundation of they don't know who they are. They didn't want the right things. They wanted things that people told them to want. Now they had the fortitude, so they went ahead and they got it, but they're cashing in and there's no there's no meaning in the cashing in. So that's another problem again that starts with a base. But even people that do a lot of great things for themselves don't have the philosophy that actually makes them feel more guilty than proud, or the psychology of being one that cashes in on their achievements. I'm thinking about we're going to record another video that I call the good versus happiness, which means that what people tell you to be or want to be is not leading you to happiness. depending where your good comes from, right? But if you're good, what you define as desirable is not happiness inducing or happiness serving, then you won't find yourself climbing a mountain that will end up in that sense of self-fulfillment and achievement. You will be maybe kind of mixed emotions about, yeah, I've done things and I'm proud about it, but I feel guilty, and all the way to like I'm achieving things, but I can't derive any meaning. So people, the more they achieve, the more depressed they become because it's not them, it's not their lives. And yeah, some bad philosophies would tell you it's like you've missed the whole point. The goal of life is not for you to climb that mountain and be happy. Forget about you. Who cares about you? You're here to serve a bigger good. You're here to serve God and what He told you to be. You're here to serve your family, your tribe. You're here to serve the collective and what's good for the common man, the poor, the miserable, the needy. You're here to do good things because you emote like let's be good. Let's be kind to everyone. Let's not judge. So yeah, if you learn the right philosophy, and you know that my base philosophy is objectivism, the philosophy of Ayn Rand, which redefines everything. It's a very radical philosophy that talks about you as the standard of value. Your life is what makes anything for you possible. This whole world is your playground. It's about you and your fulfillment and being just with your interactions and your dealing with other people for the sake of making you, which means achieving your own authentic, rational values. So yeah, it's a radical different philosophy, and I know a lot of the problems that you see that I talked about are stemming from bad philosophy. It's almost like this pyramid lives inside of some kind of a sphere, right? And that sphere needs to be supporting of even the ability to be happy. Some people live in a sphere where that pyramid is not even possible, right? Think about a kid in Gaza who lives, who learns that the good means to kill other people or to serve Muhammad the Prophet or do whatever, right? Their orientation is not towards human fulfillment. It's about death. It's about destruction. So that pyramid needs to live inside of an environment that is supportive of the concept of you know you as your goal is your heroic self, right? Your goal is your heroic journey and your fulfillment. And so the basic prerequisite for you climbing that pyramid that we talked about is that you're in the right sphere, you're in the right philosophy, you're in swimming in the right type of water that allows you to even move forward towards happiness. And true happiness is the state of consciousness, like Ayn Rand defines it, which is a result of you defining and achieving those rational, idiosyncratic, genuine values that are a reflection of who you are. And only that process yields that state of consciousness, which we call happiness. And the sad thing is that most people never learn what that even is or what it feels like. They are content with a good enough life. I got a job, a safe job, a house, a couple of kids, leave me alone, and then they retire and that's it. That's end of story. For me, that's not enough. I see people with like small batteries over their head, and some of them are running on 10% battery, some of them are 50% battery, some of them are like 95, which I'm very happy for. But the loss of life is like the loss of happiness that those people can be experiencing and will never experience. The achievement, the happiness, the self-esteem that they can experience, but they will never know and never learn that is even possible. And so when you're asking all those people with a 50% battery walking the scene, are you happy? They will say yes. They will say, I have a 100% battery. They just never see the gap of what's possible to them. And I call myself the happiest man alive because I challenge each and every one who's watching this video to ask themselves the following questions. Do you see another reality where you are more fulfilled doing the kind of work you want to do that is more fulfilling from the work you have now, having better relationships, having better wealth, and having better activities that you're excited to do, that you're able to do? If the answer is no, then you're like me. You're the happiest man alive or the happiest woman alive. But if you're not, and there's still gaps, then there's still room to go. Now, I'm not saying that I'm, resting on my laurels and I'm resting on the beach. No, I'm the happiest I can be. I'm going for the best goals that I can think for myself. I'm audacious in my wants and my desires. I have the character to go after things that people tell me is impossible, forget it. And it's like, no, I'm going to go for it. And then I do take the time to think about who I am and what I need to be in order to achieve all those things. And I'm really happy living in my own skin. This is what I call myself, why I call myself the happiest man alive. And it's an achievement that I wish for everyone because it is possible. It's possible, it's achievable, it's there for you to experience. All you need to do is to understand the mechanism that is you, the human that you are, and what it takes for you to thrive as a human being, and what are those steps that you need to go through in order to fulfill yourself as a human being, to use your mind, use your energy, use your focus to shape this world around us into what we want to see and get closer to the people that we find inspiring and trade virtue with them, which is what love is. And so on. There's just so much to say, but this is why happiness is the ultimate achievement. How many times in your life have you evaded a problem and it turned out to be a good thing, right? How many times did you say, I'm not going to think about it, and it didn't come back to bite you in the butt, right? So um, you need to look at yourself and look at your world and look at your life with a curious eye to say, what's working for me? What's not working for me? Why? And then go out and learn. I mean, without the help of the right philosopher, right, Ayn Rand, without the help of people that had such amazing insights into the human condition, without them, I would not be able to understand or verbalize and systematize, which was, I think, what I'm adding, the process of understanding what a human being is and how to make yourself happy. And if you evade those things, you evade understanding of the philosophy, you evade understanding of the psychology, you evade in understanding yourself, the skill sets of like introspective skills that you need to have, and you just brush them all out. It's like, oh, it'll be fine. Then good luck. You're going blind into a journey, and it's not going to end well. So arm yourself with knowledge, arm yourself with skill sets, arm yourself with relationship with people who can help you kind of find the path, make it bigger, make it more interesting. And what's amazing about our journey is that we only can see so far from where we are. But as we go to a peak, suddenly it's like, wow, and there's a bigger mountain to climb. Now, with my skill sets and my knowledge, I can go further and further. So, yeah, just equip yourself, arm yourself, get the ammunition you need to go out to the journey and fight for your happiness.